What's up, guys? Um, this is a hard video for me to talk about, but I guess I want to start saying, for the last 3 years of my life, I didn't want to live anymore, and it's crazy to say out loud now. I've told a few people, and that's helped. But it's rough. It's hard. I know I can relate to what y'all are going through. You're not alone, specifically. And that's something that I've had to come to learn the past few years. Suicide it's always going to be a hard topic to talk about. And that's why we have to talk about it more, so it gets easier to talk about. I guess I can share my story here in the comments if you want. You can comment yours. I'll try and respond. But just let it out in the comments, bro. Someone will reply. If not me, someone else. Someone that can relate to you. I was about 15 years old when my parents divorced, right? Later, it's, a later point in my life, I feel like if I was younger, it would have, damaged me more growing up, changed me that way. But as a 15-year-old, it felt like the weight of the world was on my shoulders. Like, I felt like I had to be stoic about it. Nonchalant, I guess. Because I needed to be there for my mom. I needed to be there for my dad. I needed to be there for my siblings. And I felt like I was the only one that could do that. And I did that, But it took a little toll on me. Like, looking back at it now, trying to be so happy all the time, trying to be there for advice, that shoulder to lean on. And that was rough, but it wasn't nearly as bad as some other stuff I've been through. I've almost died about 3 times. One of them was really bad. I had a video taken from my school where a bunch of the kids went there and prayed for me because I was bleeding out in the hospital. It wasn't self-inflicted or anything like that. I had a cut in my intestine. And I'm glad I got to experience what a period was like for a week. But, I'm alright now. Still bleed a little bit, but I know that has shaped me forever. That was about probably half a year after my parents started getting a divorce. And, seeing them there together in the hospital with me was pretty weird. But I'm so thankful for them every single day, and a lot of people can't say that, so I'm grateful. But it's moments like that, reflection, and how your life could just be over in an instant, and there's no second chances. There's no redos in what we do. There's no redos. There's no second chances to live this life that you're living right now. And I'm living proof that it can get better, and it will get better. It's saying this, it all gets better in the end. And if it's not better, it's not the end, because it will get better. About a year later after that, I think, I was at my buddy's house, and his little brother killed himself while I was there. And that's probably the first experience I've had with something like that, you know. And I'd say I was 15, 16 at the time. And I don't know, it was rough. I didn't know how to feel. You know, I'm not going to mention any names, you know, that's not my story to talk about. But hearing his mom's screams when I was outside the house trying to wave down an ambulance, you know, I get nightmares about it sometimes. It's not very often anymore. It's, I don't know how to put this in the words, but I don't know, it's life-changing experiencing something like that. My family has experienced a lot of mental health issues too. My brother specifically, he's had it rough, but I think he was a lot more harder on himself than anybody else. He's still going through his issues, but he's getting better. He's going to therapy. So that's a good outlook right now, but it's only been about this year where things have started kind of looking up. And I don't want to make this a whole sob story, but God, it's my friends. You know, I have friends mostly through high school, really close people, and we're not as close anymore since I've graduated. You know, something happened, and it's just, I don't see him as much anymore. I don't really talk to him. My friends from high school, at least. But college, I'm so thankful for the people that I've met. They have genuinely changed my life. Cole, Isaiah, Alex, Cash, Ian, like y'all, you know, you're never gonna see this video, but y'all have changed my life and made me want to continue going, you know. And that was really at the beginning of this semester. It was around January, a little before that though, when I met everybody. You know, I didn't want to live anymore, and I just asked one of them, because I only knew one of them. I knew Cole. He was in one of my classes the previous semester, and I just asked him if I could come over for a minute, over to the dorms, because I didn't live there. And he was like, yeah, like, come on. And there was like 4 people in there, and it was all people I didn't know. I knew one of them because he was in my class that semester, Isaiah. And it really snowballed from there. You know, I hang out with him all the time, and I went to church this past Sunday for the first time in over a year with Isaiah. You know, I just asked him to go. Huge Christian, and he really embodies that, and it's amazing to see. You know, that's really what I strive to be. And it was like I was so alone in carrying that weight on my shoulders, and the entire time, you know, God was there, Jesus was there, carrying that weight with me. And it's like I was blind and now I see. Like, it's so hard to explain. I'm going back to church with him this Sunday too. And like 3 years ago, 2 years ago, a year ago, I wouldn't have ever been, like, imagine being in this situation. And, like I'm so thankful for the people around me and the people that love me. Like, it's, you know, it's hard for me to feel that sometimes, but, like, it's there, and I just have to reach out and feel it. You know, like, and if, you know, I'll be in a mood a day and I won't talk to anybody, and then it's like, you know, the next day is like nothing ever happened. And, it's just, it keeps going, and it's just great. And I just, you're not alone in what you're going through. You might think you are, but there is somebody out there going through the exact same thing you are. The exact same thing. And you can find them anywhere, Go to Reddit, don't hop on Twitter or X, don't hop on there. Someone will probably tell you to take your own life. Let's not hop on X. TikTok, YouTube, like right now, one of y'all are probably going through the exact thing I am. And just reach out to a family member, your mom, your dad, your siblings, your aunt, your uncle, your grandpa, your grandma, your friends. Reach out to somebody if you need that help, because it is there. Their hand is out. You just have to reach out and grab it. And I'm just sorry, I feel like I'm not making any sense. Like, I feel like I'm skipping through stuff, not explaining things fully. I'm not sure, but I hope y'all have gotten something out of this video. But I just want y'all to know, it does get better. It really does. It might take 20 years. It might, It might take 40. It might take till you're 70 to find somebody that you want to spend the rest of your life with. Someone that you want to talk to. Someone that you enjoy being around. It might take a long time, but sometimes, it'll be there. And I think your life is worth living until you find that. Until you find, it doesn't even have to be a person. It could be a show you enjoy. It could be a thing you like to do, like playing video games, going on hikes, biking. You could find a new show you love. Supernatural, BoJack Horseman. Anime. Something that will keep you going. Like, eventually you'll find that something if you stay around long enough to find it. And I got burned out of video games. I've played video games probably since I came out the womb. Played Mario Kart on the Wii when I was probably 5. Probably my introduction to video games there. And I took a break for a while, like half a year from playing games. And I came back, and I had a whole new perspective on the games I've played. I started playing more story games after. I quit playing Call of Duty. I quit playing stuff like that, like live service games. I quit playing Fortnite, Apex, Rocket League. And I started focusing on the story-driven games, like The Last of Us, Part 1 and 2, God of War, Red Dead Redemption. And I got so much out of those that it really shaped my perspective on how I should live my life. And I believe y'all could find that too. Like I said, stay another day. And you keep repeating. If you're feeling in the moment right now that you want to take your own life, stay another day. And repeat that to yourself every day you get up. Because you will find somebody or something that makes you want to stay on this earth. It makes you want to stay more than just another day. It makes you want to stay years. Right? I read a story about how some dude wanted to commit suicide, and Invincible started coming out. And he decided to wait for the next season because he wanted to know, not really know what happened because the comics were out. But he wanted to see, he never read the comics. And he wanted to know, he wanted to see it, and he wanted to be in the moment with the community as the seasons were coming out. And now he is in a relationship with a woman who he just proposed to last week. And all because of Invincible, a fucking TV show, dude. Find your, I don't want to say spark, because that sounds very corny, but find your spark, but don't grab onto it with ferocity. Grab onto it and cradle it with gentleness and kindness. Because you don't want to burn out, or you don't want to drive that person away. Let it marinate. Let it grow from a sapling into a tree. Let your spark grow into a raging inferno. Sorry for taking up y'all's time today. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. This is the first time I've talked about anything like this. If y'all want to see some more talks with, I don't even know, talks with Owen, talks with Mango, talks with Swaggy Mango, whatever. If you want me to talk more about stuff like this, drop some topics in the comments, and I'll reply to those in like a video. But I want to thank y'all for 600 subscribers. Holy crap! I had, I think, 90 something until like from 2017 all the way up to January, I think. And this really means a lot. Subscribe, hit the like button down below. Love y'all, man. If you need somebody, reach out, and you're not alone.